Neil, everyone back in one piece from internationals?
Well, the 3 Australian boys arrived back yesterday, and they've trained this morning, so no issues there. And Slivka, he's come back from Lithuania with a slight knock, but he's trained the last couple of days as well.
Martin Boyle, good Vettel.
Well, I think he's a little bit tired. Boys have nicknamed him jet lag already, but it's great for him, great debut, and that should give him a real shot of confidence, and obviously it's great for the profile of the club as well.
Yeah, a lot going on obviously in the international break. Martin's left the Republic of Ireland. You've been heavily linked with that job. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Listen, I'm in a very good job here, and I'm just concentrating on that at the minute. Sorry to see Martin go, because he had such a huge influence on my career. 10 years I played under him, and he did some brilliant things with the Republic, and I'm sure he'll come again because he's brilliant.
Do you still think he's got the drive to be a club manager? I mean, he's obviously been managing football for so long now. Would you expect him to come back to the club game?
Well, he did say that he was looking for his next challenge or adventure, so he's obviously still got the hunger burning away there, and you can see it, constantly on the touchline. And his competitive record with Ireland wasn't that bad at all. So it's part of the job, I suppose. That some things come to an end, nothing lasts forever, and I'm sure he'll be back. I hope so.
Yeah, I remember we spoke earlier in the year when I think the Scotland vacancy was there, and you expressed an interest in speaking to the SFA. Would that be? You've got a great gig here, but is an international job something that would be interesting to you at some point? If it's the right job?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's, in theory that sounds great, but in practice it's totally different. So, look, it's just speculation, and I'm flattered if there is a link. I've not seen anything or heard anything regarding myself, and all I've been doing is concentrating on us getting back into winning form, because that's important.
Yeah. You mentioned the form, and did the break come at a good time for you?
Not really, because you always want to get back in. After the defeat, you want to sort of try and play straight away. I didn't think we were that bad at Aberdeen, and I thought we deserved to get something out of the game. We're on a run there 4 without a win. It's not like us, but there's mitigating circumstances for that. I don't think the performances have been poor at all, and I know what I've got in the dressing room, and even though we're sitting 8th in the table, only 8 points off the top, so it's very congested around that area, and what we have to do now is start winning some games and get us back up there challenging again.
Any concerns about the lack of goals in the last week?
Well, we're creating the chances, so McLaren's been undercooked this season. He's missed a lot of football, and he's just coming back to full fitness, and he will add to that. And Flo's goal return has been decent this season, so no, Martin's scoring goals. So no, it's not. It may just be we've come up against stiff opposition. We've created good chances against Aberdeen and a good chance against Hearts. The only real disappointing performance was St Johnstone at home, where we lost our home record. But in the main, it's not a major concern for me at the minute.
Have you any formula, Neil, when it comes to little dips in form, dips in results?
Hard work. I think there's no substitute for that. Just giving the players the confidence. Not that they've lost a big deal of confidence, they're a confident group. And just getting back out there and doing what they're good at.
Do the fixtures coming up represent a good chance to go on a bit of a run, playing the bottom 3 in the next 4 games, and obviously high-flying Kilmarnock, but is there a chance now to build a bit of form? Yeah,
because we've had some tough games of late, all the way from home as well. Hearts, Aberdeen, Celtic. We took 1 point from there out of those games, which again probably didn't tally up to the performances. So we need to start crossing the line in terms of putting the performances and matching the results with that, regardless of the opposition and where they are in the table, because every game in this division is hard.
At what point does the lack of goals become a concern if it continues? As you say, you're creating chances, but if, let's say, there's no goal tomorrow, when does it become a legitimate concern?
Well, the longer it goes, I suppose, then you have to analyse it and go, are we creating enough gilt-edged chances? Well, we had 2 or 3 at Aberdeen, where on another day we would have taken them. So if we're creating the chances, then it's the confidence of the player. You can't make them score the goals, and we're not making a big issue of it either, because we know they've got goals in them. So every team has a bit of a bad time, a tough time, or you know, a barren spell. We're not used to it, so it's, as soon as we can remedy that, the better.
It's a game every 3 days now in between now the break, so actually,
well, it's good.
If you do get on a run, it is a good thing. You'll just carry it into the next game, I guess.
Yeah, it's good. You know, obviously it's a congested fixture list, and it'll take its toll on the squad. But yeah, we have been sort of starved of games, really, regular games over the last sort of 6-7 weeks. So to have this run of games now, training will be curtailed obviously, and recovery will be important. But you know, we want to be competitive in all the games now between now. Well, we have been, but we want to be forceful in all the games, you know, between now and the end of the year.
Do you see this month as essentially defining most clubs' seasons? You see how close it is at the moment. You mentioned the fact you're 8 points off the top of an 8th. It should stretch out this month.
It'll to and fro, yeah. And then you regroup and strategise for the second half of the season.
Still happy enough with the congested December, allowing you to have 2 weeks at the start of January?
It's difficult, you know, having that amount of games, and I know there's other clubs that probably got more with Europe involved as well, and we haven't got the biggest of squads. What's frustrated me is there's been a lot of breaks, you know, where we could have maybe fitted in a game or two here and there, and now we've got this concertinaed month that's going to be difficult to negotiate, but one that we're looking forward to.
Any fresh injury concerns looking ahead to tomorrow?
No, we're complement near enough of a full squad. Ross Laidlaw, he's out with a shoulder injury, but a thigh injury. But you know, the rest of the squad, not all of them are fully fit. David Gray's training now, but still a bit short. He's not played since Hamilton. But the rest of them are almost at full fitness.
Neil, just going back to what Charles was saying at the top. You sat here 3 or 4 weeks ago and you admitted that due to some unsavoury incidents recently, you do start to wonder whether it's worth continuing to work in Scotland when jobs come up, not necessarily the Ireland one, but when jobs come up nowadays. Do you start to think a little bit about life beyond Hibs?
I'm not going to comment on that. You know, I'm here, I'm concentrating on what I'm doing with this team, and I don't want any other distractions. That was a big distraction for me personally, and it didn't help. So, you know, it's history now, and I've said my piece, and I'm moving on. I want to move on, and I want to concentrate on the job in hand.
Can I ask you about Forrest? You think you gave him his debut?
Yeah, I had Jamesy for 4 years, well 5 years actually. You know, 4 as a manager, and a year in the development team.
I mean, I remember you saying at the time when he came into the team, he was a great prospect, and now, maybe only now, he's beginning to flourish, perhaps as you thought. Did you always think he could get to international level and do that?
Yeah. I always thought he was outstanding at 18, 19. Actually, on his debut, he scored against Motherwell. He's coming into his peak now. You know, he had a few injuries over the years that sort of curtailed his progress, but you know, the last couple of years now, you know, going into his 3rd season under Brendan, he's really flourishing, and he scored a lot of goals last year, and he's in, you know, peak condition and peak form, and it's brilliant to see. Such an asset for both club and country.
Was he the best player in your development team?
Yes, by a long way, yeah.
Who was his contemporaries? Who was...
Paul McGowan was around it, Rocco Quinn, Darren O'Dea was around it a little bit, although he was a little bit older. I can't remember, Paul Slean was there at the time, Richie Tavel, who's going on to Brighton. So it was a decent group of young players to work with, but you know, he was head and shoulders. You know, you could tell he had, you know, fantastic pace and power and incredible feet, and we're seeing all that now and at the highest level. And you know, he's had a brilliant couple of weeks there with Scotland, and I'm sure he'll continue in the same vein. He's a boy who doesn't get carried away with the attention. He's very quiet, and he's just naturally very, very good footballer.
A boost to the game as a whole that we managed to get to the playoff.
Yeah, delighted for Alec. You know, a lot of criticism, premature criticism. Obviously, the competitive games, they've been good, and they've had some cracking results and scored goals as well. Considering the amount of players that sort of cried off as well. So he's done a brilliant job there.
You've been linked with a move to Tom Eaves recently. Do you
It's
like
just speculation.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to talk. Like, it's going to be that time of year where we're going to get linked with players and that. But we're looking down at the squad, but we can't do anything until January. So we're out there, you know, on the ground looking at players, and I'm not going to give any names at this current time until they're in the building.
Do you think you'll need quite an influx come January, or will just
No.
one or two bodies just to kind of freshen things up?
Yeah. 1 or 2 bodies.
Quality over quantity, presumably. Yeah.
Look, we've lost a lot of good players, and you know that takes time, or it takes its toll. You know, and we're maybe not as consistent, but we're working on it. And what the players need to do now is find their consistency, because they're good enough. You know, it wasn't so long ago we were sitting second in the table, so that shows you how competitive the league is. But I wouldn't say it's a rebuilding job, but we want to add 1 or 2, yeah, definitely.